welcome.
Hi everybody, my name is Maxim. I'm VK's head of game and an executive producer in Mail.ru Games Ventures. And today's speech will be about mobile HTML5. So, mobile HTML5 games have long remained a byword. 2 years ago, no one believed that mobile HTML5 platforms could even exist. But now there are already several platforms that break from typical gaming process and engage in newly discovered I want to play immediately era. Game developers are a bit scared of this completely new and unfamiliar tool. And players are still inexperienced within the in-app gaming. However, the foundation has already been laid, and mobile HTML5 games are picking up steam on daily basis. I will outcome several myths and fears in the industry regarding mobile HTML5 games. But before that, I want to finally put an end to our understanding of what is a mobile HTML5 game. To explain, I will introduce the term in-app gaming, which refers to gaming platforms within mobile applications. Games on these platforms are closely connected to the social graph and allow users to interact with one another. In VK, in-app gaming is presented as a direct games platform where projects that use HTML5 are launched and integrated with the platform according to certain rules. Not all HTML5 games are suitable to run on in-app gaming platforms. Thus causing a lot of confusion in the industry because people understand HTML5 games in different ways. Some consider the games within the app, others about web RPGs, yet more think about mobile web games, and others thinking about portal projects monetized with pre-rolls. Therefore, let's agree on the following. The first one, that HTML5 is the technology that creates games and can be used differently. The second one, when we're talking about gaming in applications, we will use the general term in-app gaming, which means gaming platforms within social gaming apps created with HTML5 technology. In the widest sense of word, here is how we can determine in general what game is in front of us. Will your project's retention come down if the game is launched as a standalone game outside a social application? If the impact is insignificant, then the project in this form is not ideal for in-app gaming. And that's it for in-app gaming. Let's jump to fears. The first and the smallest one. Few engines support HTML5. Actually, that's not true, and there are a lot of engines which allow developers to build HTML5 games. To name just a few pure HTML5 engines like Phaser, Pixie.js, Game Maker Studio, and others. And there are a lot of cross-platform game engines like Unity, Corona, Unreal Engine, and others. All these engines provide developers with opportunity to build HTML5 games. The second fear, how can a game be designed if the platform format is unclear? This is the most difficult question, the answer to which is challenging to find. Each in-app gaming platform provides its own set of tools for working with the audience, for attracting, retaining, and returning users. And game developers ought to use these tools in their game, and the tools should seem effortless and written into game design from the very start when the balance and meta game are being developed. Without these tools and mechanisms, the game will be incomplete and it will lose depth and meaning. So how exactly can these mechanisms can be implemented in the game? Since in-app gaming platforms are a fairly new phenomenon, all doors are open and developers can use their imagination and then share best practices with colleagues. And during the beta test period of direct games, VK Mobile HTML5 in-app gaming platform, on Android we noticed that games with competitive mechanisms and leaderboards are of great interest to users. Stylistically, these are bright and colorful games where players can make strategic decisions by interacting with characters, playing field, and objects. And these games do not force users to wait, and they urge users to take frequent actions in games. The next one, fear number 3. If it is unclear, it's unclear which genres are good, thus my game may not be good. If that is the case, then what genres are suitable for direct games? Right now, gamers prefer casual games mainly because they're interactive and engaging, and gamers feel a connection to what is happening, and they make strategic decisions that influence the game's story arc here and now. However, mid-core and even hardcore projects can win the attention and love of the audience if they provide fast and engaging gameplay and ability for users to compete with friends and other players in game. Do not fear the long sessions, as an average time spent by players in direct games is roughly 8 minutes. Instead, fill this 8 minutes with events, fantastic gameplay, and interactive social mechanics to make the players stay longer. Fear number 4. Games are somehow not promoted. We decided to pivot and push their games toward a more closed platform with greater care paid to game pitches from developers as well as selection from our side. We are very sensitive to everything that is inside our mobile apps, and we expect the same attitude from developers, because games should be beautiful externally and integrated perfectly into the application ecosystem. On the other hand, the games should not be projects that provide one-time experience, and we will carefully look to the retention rate of all projects and potential rate of all projects. And if retention rate falls below some certain critical performance indicators, games will be allowed time for revision, and if situation doesn't change, the game will less likely be displayed in the catalog for players. Thus, only the best projects will be launched on in-app gaming platforms, so that the entire attention of players will be focused on them. Our users love to play, and the number of organic users who launch games on direct games grows weekly. As a result, the platform is able to give a big amount of installations. Already, an average number of 8 to 10,000 daily installations per best games take place on direct game. And worth be mentioned that we are right now in beta only on Android, and it's only organic users. There are no marketing or B2C campaigns to promote direct games among users. The fear number 5. There is no money in in-app gaming. Indeed, users are still new to in-app gaming, and the proportion of those who enter mobile apps game catalog spend time in direct games, and part of them pay. Payments is simply a matter of habit and time, and players can pay on their mobile devices. And a large quantity of users have VK votes on their account, and those votes are ready to be spent in apps on entertainment. Right now it's gifts, stickers, and games. Thus we can safely say that payments will grow, and game will start earning money through in-app gaming platforms. Fear number 6. Many people will come, but retention will be low. Working on user retention is a main priority for in-app gaming platforms, and it consists of several elements which can be divided into 2 main categories. The first, it's game design aimed at long-term play and long-term progress. And the second one is the social mechanisms aimed to user retention and return. In-app gaming platforms provide many tools for retaining and returning users. In March, when we launch direct games on iOS, and it will be version 1.0 for direct games will support notifications, requests, and invitations, as well as ability to contact users through personal messages on behalf of the game's official community. And the last one, fear number 7, the uncertain future of HTML5 games. The amount of in-app gaming platforms is growing. 2 years ago, nobody had even thought about such platforms, but now people are discussing them while large social networks and messengers provide developers the opportunity to compete among themselves for audience attention in in-app gaming platforms, where fewer projects exist than in the App Store and in Google Play. And in the next few years, in-app gaming will be the full-fledged addition to native stores, as we think. Thank you.